everyone. Welcome to your Secure Privacy and Security segment. I'm Anna Berry with Alain Ghiai, the CEO of Sekur. So our weekly hack topic is a big one. On Thursday, the world's largest bank, ICBC, which is Industrial and Commercial Bank of China, was hit by a cyber attack, causing a major blackout at ICBC's US broker-dealer, which left it temporarily owing BNY Mellon Bank about $9 billion, which is an amount many times larger than its net capital. So Alain, talk a little bit about what happened here. And this affects people at a very high level. How does it affect us everyday users?
Well, it affects us because some of us are invested in the stock market or have investment in banks, mutual fund, 401k. I mean, everybody somehow is invested in the stock market through retirement plans or directly. And here we see some example of how the hacking world and all these events are affecting everyone, because now it's becoming dangerous as the banking system gets a bit shaken up. We know that when the banking system gets shaken up, our entire lives are upside down. And, you know, this wasn't a huge thing, but this is a classic example of how it can disrupt markets. So that's something, that's an angle that people don't think of. You know, usually, you know, and this was a hack that was done in the US. It was on a Chinese bank. We don't know who it was. And they were left with using USB sticks. In fact, they had to leave their corporate email to use Gmail. I don't know who was hosting their corporate email, but usually you have one of the duopoly, as I call it, between the two big companies, and they had to switch to the other one using Gmail as a backup, and that's pretty dramatic and you know, not entirely professional either, I would say. You know, I'd recommend something more secure than that, but that's just how it is. They had no backup plan whatsoever.
Right. And I'm sure there was a lot of financial information exchange on that open source email. So let's talk about some of the dangers. I mean, if there is a blackout, you have to get your information shared from one person to the other, and you use an open source versus using something more like the secure email and how that helps protect our data. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's interesting. This whole hack reminds me of close to 10 years ago, we had the idea of Sekur, and Sekur was essentially going to be a big backup system. This is when the Sony hack happened. If some of you guys remember, the Sony employees had to get back to pen and paper and using old Blackberries that are no longer in circulation now. And essentially, they got a huge hack, their email, their communication, everything. And the idea came from somebody I know in the media. We were discussing that companies could have Sekur as a backup and then have a failover switch directly to Sekur. And that's how, you know, the name kind of came up too. So typically, if you use Secure Mail, first of all, because we don't host our infrastructure in the big tech and the big four hosting companies, we have our own infrastructure in Switzerland, our own server, and we don't use open source coding. It will reduce dramatically the risk of these hacks, because we also don't data mine you. So when you data mine data, when you sell data, even if you are a great secure provider, the people you sell the email to are not, it's not their business to secure your data. They're there to sell you something. So, and when you have billions of people on a system, you're going to have some leaks, especially if you have millions of people working on the code. So we recommend using Secure Mail with our Secure Send, Secure Reply feature, which offers a way to send an email to an outsider even and have them reply back with a lot of attachments. It's got a lot of cool feature, and it's in full privacy because the whole communication happens only within a secure private network in Switzerland within our server. So that's a huge advantage.
It is. So you have the secure mail, the secure messenger, and you also have almost like a bundle, if you will, with this VPN. And that's also very important in today's age to have a VPN to basically hide where you're coming from.
Yeah, we have a secure VPN, which again uses our own infrastructure, no third-party cloud, no third-party bundled services. Because when you use third parties, they already have your data. They basically they allow these bundles because they're going to take data. Data is the name of the game. We don't do that because we'll charge you our $9 a month or whatever, and you pay us and you get the full privacy. So I would recommend, whether you use secure mail or messenger or not, definitely get our VPN. Super easy to use. It will mask your IP and make it look like you're in Switzerland. So when people in the US that are more and more targeted, this bank is a great example. Even though they were a Chinese bank, they are in the US. You notice it's the US entity that got hacked, not the Chinese entity. And we know why they hack the US all the time, because you have the most valuable data. You want to be invisible to hacker. You want to be in stealth mode. And that's why you should use a VPN like ours. And of course, you should bundle with our email as well, and you get a double protection like that.
Stealth mode, that's the takeaway. And it's a simple adoption of the services you provide. So I'm sure our viewers are curious, what are the next steps and what is the promo code for today?
So I would say go to sekur.com, sekur.com, register for a service. You can bundle them as you register. It'll be prompted if you want to bundle one or two extra service, and use promo code privacy. And that will give you 15% off for 5 years on any solution. And, I'd recommend doing that. We have a help section where you have tutorials. We're just launching. We're going to actually post these interviews that we do on our blog as well. We're just starting that, which is a great educational piece. So yeah, go ahead and get secure and get your 15% off.
Perfect. All right. Privacy has arrived with Sekur. Great speaking with you, Alain, and we'll see you next week for another weekly hack topic.
Thanks everyone for watching, and be careful out there.